Adriana, and what inspired me for this haircut today was Adriana's beautiful jawline and her cheekbones. So I'm going to give her a cut that's going to accentuate both, add a little bit of graduation for the shape, and a nice sweeping fringe. Here's a view of the partings, our fringe area, and our 4 quadrants, and I have subsectioned in for my starting points of the haircut. Thinking about the end result in mind, I am going to cut Adriana's hair with a feather plie razor, straight edge razor, and a great product to prep the hair with is Damage Control in our Brilliant line. Starting this haircut at the front because the focal point here is where I place this line. I want this line to sit just below Adriana's chin and have a very strong perimeter line here. So what I'm going to do is, with her head tilted away, starting right at the very front of the haircut where the focal point is, I am going to place my fingers, not too much tension because I know it's going to shrink up a little bit, and with the heel of my razor, I'm going to very lightly just take my first section. As we transition into the back, we're going to use that hair that falls behind the ear as our guide. It's important to check your balance. After completing both sides, front right, front left, we're looking at the balance. Once your precision is right in there, then we're going to begin transitioning into the back. So we'll take a section of hair at the nape and bring our fingers to our guide right here. Let that guide pop out and then begin your perimeter through the back. We want to create a nice sharp line here, so we're using a closed blade. So a closed blade means that the blade is not moving too much, so what we're getting is we're getting a very strong perimeter line through here, which will enhance and really put the focus on the line right here at the neck. Once we've created a solid perimeter line on Adriana's hair, our subsequent sections will be slightly elevated and we're going to change the stroke of the razor. All right, now we're doing a tipping technique, which is taking the tip of the razor and just very lightly going in, adding a little bit of hidden texture into the hair. The elevation is going to give us some graduation as well. So the graduation will sit very nicely on top of that strong perimeter line. So by simply elevating and adding some texture into the hair, we get a much softer graduation than with the scissors. When we get to the top of the head, we're going to pull all of the hair back, elevate slightly higher than the previous, work into our length first.
O cabelo dessa cliente era cacheado e ela queria ficar loira, fazer um alisamento e cortar os cabelos. E aqui a cliente deseja que nós realizamos. Primeiro ela fez o loiro, depois fizemos a progressiva base ácida com a técnica do liso espelhado e por fim meu marido finalizou com esse corte. Ela pensou que seria impossível deixar os cabelos como ela sempre sonhou. E o resultado ficou tão perfeito que ela ficou parecendo outra pessoa. E detalhe, a progressiva que usamos deixou o cabelo dela com aspecto liso natural, nem parece que um dia foi cacheada. Ela disse que seria a realização de um sonho e isso é gratificante demais para nós. E o resultado foi surpreendente e encheu muito com a autoestima dela. Ficou muito perfeito. E esse corte parece que foi feito para ela. E olha que foi meu marido que escolheu. Curte para a parte 2.
And where I see the tip of the nose, then I will go with quite an open blade to create more texture. My next section will be brought down to that and creating a nice strong concave shape. Final stage of the haircut is to bring everything forward from the crown forward and pull your fingers till you see the guide. Once you see the guide, then very slight blend from the back to the front. I'm going to use a little bit curly style prep.
I cut baby bangs, and before anyone comes for me, no, I am not cutting my hair into a pixie cut. I am not cutting any other part of my hair besides my bangs. Before I cut baby bangs, my bangs were at such an awkward length. I couldn't do curtain bangs, but I couldn't do like straight bangs above my eyebrows or just like at my eyebrows. I felt like it looked really weird, especially with the length of hair that I have right now, which is like right at my shoulders. I don't know, it just felt very moppy. So anyway, on a whim, I decided to cut baby bangs because I saw a video that showed like all of the different face shapes, and it shared the best type of bangs for each face shape, and it said for a heart-shaped face you should do baby bangs. So I kind of took that and ran with it. By the way, I'm talking with a lisp because I have my retainer in. But anyway, I did cut the baby bangs. I cut them really short, and then to style them I just blow dried them straight, and then I used this really small hair straightener. And by the way, I actually used to think the straightener was not good. I really did not like it at all. But then I cut my bangs and I realized, oh, this is what the straightener is for. I like it, but I also know that my hair is going to grow back really fast. So in a month, I'm going to have straight bangs again.
Saying, give me some layering. Here's a great way to introduce them to it. What we want to do is we want to separate that transition from vertical to horizontal. So I'm going to separate that horseshoe on the top, which is the top and the crown area. By simply placing the comb vertical, you can see that that's going to transition to a horizontal line. So we're going to come through and we're going to start our horseshoe at that particular position. Now you have an opportunity to adjust this horseshoe in terms of how high or how low we take that based upon density. So base it upon density, how high or how low you're going to take that. Because we're dry cutting, I'm going to suggest you give that a very soft twist, and now go against and pin against the twist and using a dry cutting clip. The dry cutting clips have elastic on them so that you're not going to get the lines. Continue to work your horseshoe shape around. Now I'm working towards around that back crown area, keeping that pretty even and balanced as I work from one side to the other. Because I'm dry cutting, I feel that I want to dry cut because I will be able to see the visual cutting edge. So I find that these strong shapes like this, it's an advantage to you to dry cut because we can visually see the edge immediately in terms of how hard it falls or how soft. So I want you to remember something. Dry cutting is a visual exercise for us, the hairdresser, in terms of being able to see that visual edge. We're going to use the bottom length of this section as our starting point in terms of how to create the layer in terms of the length. So it's not just a matter of a vertical long section and determining where you want to start it. Remember, let the head shape determine for you where that layering point can start. So let's come through. Let's take this back area here, and that's where we're going to start to work with is the back area in this crown area. So what I'm going to do, because I'm cutting dry, I'm going to isolate underneath so I don't pick up any of this hair as I'm cutting. By isolating underneath, this is a blended haircut. It allows me though to pick up again the section I've just cut in case I want to pick it up again. It controls this down here. All right, so we've got that all isolated underneath. Now you can just release that top because you're going to see how I'm going to work with this back area and the side area. So now we're going to start. Give you a profile view. We're starting in the back area of the head. Look how I just skim my hand across that. I've got my sectioning. So I'm going to separate front to back. There I am there. This is going to give me that crown area on the top. Now, this is the area that we're about to cut, this top crown area. I'm going to give you a back view of it so that you can see it. So this is the area we're cutting.